Arknights and Endfield's lore has a lot to it, especially with its connections to the OG. So in the spirit of the discussion we had with Ashikai, I decided to let chat ask me anything about the lore as a sort of scuffed expert, though somehow the questions got kind of personal. When did this become a stream like this, huh? I thought I was answering lore questions! Subscribe if you're into Q&As like this, and comment below if you have a question yourself. Onto the video. Which came first, Originium or the Stargate? So assumably both are Precursor projects, right? I guess we don't have like an exact timeline, but logically I feel like it's Originium, the Stargate first. Because the Stargate to get to Terra, actually, do they just, for some reason when I thought about the Stargate just now, I was thinking of a Minecraft nether portal where they built it and then instantly one spawns in the nether. You know what I mean? Where they don't have to build that one. From what we know, just assume that Originium came second. Yo, future ramenblitz here. I got a passage that's a little more concrete. This is from IS6, where it talks about a giant meteor falling. That meteor is a precursor ship. The precursors then erect a huge ring, which is the cosmic gate, or the Stargate, and then a giant time skip. Then the precursors have a herd of descendants, which are half man, half beast, which are the animals that came from Talos 2 through the cosmic gate onto Terra, who then evolved to the people that we know of through Originium. So Stargate, then Originium. How about Ardashir's nature? Is he an Ageless, like what you said, or could he be a Feranmut? I don't think he's a Feranmut. I think he's an Ageless. A theory that I had a while back, Ardashir talked about the Sargonian Empire, which to me isn't indicative of current Sargon, but like past Sargon, because at the time the Sargon Empire was like a superpower. It was like the biggest power in all of Terra, these fuckers. And during this event, like 1,000 or so years ago, I don't know the exact timeline, there was a second cosmic gate down in Sargon that got destroyed in this incident that was leaking out a bunch of collapsals. I think Ardashir is from that era of Sargon, and he went through that cosmic gate. Maybe it's like, if that also happened, that brings up a whole host of questions of like, what the fuck did Ardashir do there for like 1,000 years until the rest of Terra arrived or something? I just need to see Ardashir's operator file. Just release a damn character, man. Release Aether as an element. Just join the damn Endfield already. I'm sick of you, Ardashir. I need you in my party. Something came to mind. Do you think Collapsals is correlated to precursors just like the Blight Shades? Is the Aether/Blight a precursor project like Originium? We don't really know. It could easily just be a natural phenomenon. You know what I mean? It's not explicitly stated that Collapsals are Aether related. It's just assumed because they're somewhat similar. There's a few things that are different, like how Collapsals are a mind hazard, while Blight is only sort of a mind hazard, just to a much lesser extent. A thought that me and Drachnus had was that, like, the Collapsals are just a primitive version of the fully developed Aether that we know, and they're bleeding through the gate. What matters is that everything that I have said right now is gonna be dead wrong come 1.5, because we're gonna get to Typhon Reconvener, and she is the servant. I just watched the Fate Grand Order anniversary movie, my bad. She is the operator with the most relation to the Collapsals in the original Arknights. So we're gonna get her operator file, and she's gonna call me a fucking dumbass. She's gonna say everything I said was wrong. I also want to say Lavatane's operator file says a lot in terms of comparing the Collapsals to Aether, but all of Lavatane's operator file, almost all of it, is written through unreliable narrator, because it's just scientists trying to figure out what the fuck Lavatane is talking about the whole time, and Lavatane doesn't actually care about the topic. So they're like, oh, Collapsals? What is that? Is that a type of Angeloi? Or is that a type of Light Shade? Or whatever. Future ramenblitz back to fact check. I just went down the most mind-numbing rabbit hole. I just looked at Lavatane's operator files, and I did not recognize a single one of those entries. So I was like, am I just schizo? Am I remembering files that don't exist? And then I used the Wayback Machine, and turns out the files that I read referencing the Collapsals were beta files. That's this one right here, especially. Lavatane mentioned demons. They may refer to a rare Angeloi class. That means they may or may not even be canon. Back to it. Is it safe to assume each race coming from predecessors or anything else have different ways? Because Ageless is unrelated to race. It's just some Originium arts fuckery. I assume assumptions based on race are not a good idea. That's the difference between you and me, buddy. Sorry. Hey, different schools of thought, I guess. Me personally, I make those assumptions every time. Thoughts? Is that weird of me? Or is that completely normal? That's the Arknight special, really. Drachnus. I have a lore question. Is Cannot a Sarkaz, Elder, Ancient, or Seaborn? Actually, Cannot is a servant from hit video game series Fate Stay Night. It is a legendary crossover between the two IPs. Thoughts? Skip ad. Talking about voices, does the exploration level 2 sound similar with Teresa? You know what? I never compared their voices. I remember the theory was that it was Priestess, but we don't have a Priestess English VA, do we? We just got a Tallulah English VA from the Chen thing. The question mark voice is Perlica's voice actor, but she has different voice direction. Oh.
Your journey shall continue.
That's the same.
In the end, you chose.
Also, now that you guys say that, I can hear the Perlica in this voice. But that is the same, these two. Since this is a Q&A, what do you think of the game Taiwan Love Story? If I Google this on stream, is this TOS? Is a romantic interactive novel. Okay, this is a Gooner game. This is a Gooner game. Okay, what are we trying to do here? What are we trying to get me into, huh? All right, closing all that. The old death is ramenblitz. We called me old? I'm vibrant, I'll have you know. I'll have you know I'm vibrant and youthful. Never mind the fact that I'm sunsetting, fading, and approaching 30. Yes, I'm 28. We can say that. We don't need to say I'm old death. Come now. Ancient. Unk. Alright. You know what's crazy? I don't know if this is true. Somebody told me that Kukakaze is 26, and everyone calls Kukakaze Unk. I'm older! Walking in the dust. Put me in the same event as Keltsit. Magic happens. I thought you were 33. I should be happy that it's just early 30s and not pushing 40. Bro, pre-ordered seniority. What's going on here? What did this become a stream like this, huh? I thought I was answering lore questions. Are we ragging me for my age? It is funny, so keep doing it. But also, what's going on here? What do you think the YSTF is facing in the shore beyond? I mean, it's in the same conversation. Actually, my own damned video. Yeah, I post YouTube videos. Yeah, I do that. The shore beyond and other anomalous ether phenomena. That kind of infers that, like, shore beyond and Aurora the North are both ether phenomena. Obviously, we know the Aurora, but the shore beyond, yes. Though Ying Lungs, so that kind of indicates that HAS deploys Ying Lungs everywhere, not just Wuling. So there's probably Ying Lungs dispatched to the north, right? Here's one thing that I was wondering about while laying in bed last night. Is there a map of Halos 2? Like, how close are these nations to the north? You can actually do the math by counting the sun off map. Man, that's some GeoGuessr shit. I'm not a GeoGuessr player. The brainwashing was a linchpin. So every precursor has a linchpin in them that kind of influences their thoughts. It's more so to like keep them sane while they're in a sarcophagus for however long millennia without them going brain dead. It's also what Priestess used to influence the Doctor. So this is a scene during Babel where the Doctor is like between himself. The black is indicative of the Doctor Oracle's own thoughts. White is when Priestess is using the linchpin to influence the Doctor's thoughts, trying to edge him in one way. Edge him in one way, push him in one way. But maybe they'll be able to create a miracle. White, it's Priestess now. Terra's political structure is primitive. Babel does not have the ability to do it. And then back to the Oracle. I believe in Terra. I believe in these people to build their own future. Back to Priestess. Carry on with the project. At least the vestiges of those who came before can live on within Originium. Believe in her. Stop her. That's why Oracle turned off the defenses in Rhodes Island, because of this. Teresa's whole thing at the end of Babel was, this is my revenge. One, I'm gonna wipe your mind so you can follow your heart instead of only following the however many years of logic. Back in the Precursor age when they're developing Originium, they wiped all of that and made it so, hey, Doctor, you gotta follow your heart here. You know this is wrong in your heart of hearts, but you're still going off of what you know from way back when. So what Teresa did was disable the linchpin inside of the Doctor's body. But yeah, that's the plot of Babel. One of the best stories in all of Arknights. Okay, so 8-month-old post, actually. The total amount of words of the OG Arknights story is almost 3 million. And it's sure to be way higher than that now, because a lot of the events that they've been releasing are pretty verbose. How many words are in Harry Potter? 1 million words. So 3 times as the entire series of Harry Potter. How many words are in the Bible? 780,000 words. I'm reading many Bibles when I go through fucking Arknights, man. A friend took a little over a year to reach chapter 14 plus a few side stories while playing other gachas. I mean, that's just how much you can like read. You know everyone's cooked these days. I consume too much short form content. I'm willing to admit that. I watch too many Dr. Pitanger shorts. Now my attention span is cooked. How am I gonna read through all of this? I have to take like breaks when I read stories now. Like I'll read 2 or 3 chapters of an event or whatever, and then I'll lay in bed for like 2 hours. Do you think Hypergriff are making the lore of Endfield involve Arknights lore, making it a requirement to know Arknights lore in order to lore? You said lore 50 times! I don't think that's an explicit goal of Arknights writing. The overarching lore writers between both Endfield and Arknights have like such a love for their world that they're not willing to go through the route of just barely being referential to the OG Arknights. They want everything to work together because they love their world so much. Like, it's easy to see the passion in it. It's really beautiful to see. It's just why I love Arknights so much, especially with the Lake Rios. Like, I will say, it's so funny how Endfield, like, you would expect a game like Endfield to go like, oh, let's go to this region and build up this region slowly, and then we'll go to another region and build up the region slowly. But in 1.x, Enfield really said, nah, we ain't doing all that. Here's some precursors, here's some foundation, here's a Lake Rios. We're gonna go to this plot now. Fuck you. What's our current interpretation of the Aether side? The coolest interpretation is Ash's interpretation of it being a waveform quantum mechanics type shit, where it is many different possibilities. But what we do know concretely is that it is the antithesis to Originium. Like, they act as opposites, but they can interact together, hence Protocol Originium. We don't know full things, like even Perlica doesn't know, especially because Perlica was like, I thought Aether was the antithesis to life. So obviously nobody is like a reliable narrator in that regard. We know that Aether is like an alternate reality kind of, because it's a barrier between real space and Aether's side. And the blight is what we get when those collide. You don't need to know Arknights lore for Enfield, but we do highly recommend a doctorate in physics. I'm not gonna lie, I've yet to see a writer explain quantum physics in a way understandable to lay people, so Ash's interpretation doesn't make too much sense to me. I mean, it's tough. As a kid, I don't know why, but I was bombarded by like scientific documentaries as if I was like young Sheldon or some shit, and I kind of got it internalized into me. Are you Asian? What part of that sentence would make you think I'm not? I'm Filipino. I think my dad wanted me to become a physicist, and that didn't really work out. Now I make Arknights YouTube videos instead. Is he proud? Buddy, my dad does not know what I do. As far as he knows, I'm still working as a contract software engineer. He does not know that I have a YouTube channel. He does not know that I've not worked as a software engineer for like a year now, and have just been editing for people and making videos. If Su is 1.6, who would we get 1.5? I would think after that we would get the Typhon Reconvener. I don't know if we'd get that after Su. Like, we didn't see any gameplay of the dude, and we didn't see any gameplay of Su. But we saw gameplay of Typhon Reconvener. You know what I mean? With the bow thing in the 1.5 minigame. So I think Typhon is definitely 1.5 no matter what. It's just the other two, who knows? Why does Lifeng have a black halo? So Lifeng is a race called Anasa. Fuck, I don't know Lifeng. So this is kind of a racial trait of the Anasa. They were like Sarkaz, but then the Sarkaz King Kelon led a bunch of different Sarkaz tribes off into the east in like a migration. And the like ideas that got enlightened, I'm pretty sure the idea in terms of real world analogous is like enlightenment with Buddhism, I think. Canonically, they just evolved. Yeah, I think they all like changed in the east thing. If I remember, Oni was a Sarkaz. Yeah. All Higashi, it looks like. Higashi. Who the fuck are you? Have I ever seen you in my entire life? Episode 5, Code of Brawl. Member of Hoshiguma Street Gang. Oh, okay. Prehistoric ball knowledge. Yeah, I barely remember that shit at all. What the hell? Will we get Chi Xiao as a weapon? That would be really funny. Assuming it's like a regular sword. Oh, who's a sword wielder? We'll give Alesh Chi Xiao. Could you imagine? Ah, yes, a random PGCC man with Chi Xiao, the legendary Chinese blade. Think it's about time to call it. It was a good stream though. Thank y'all everyone so much for hanging out, asking a lot of questions. It was really fun talking to y'all. Maybe we could do this again sometimes. I gotta head out. Peace out. See you later.